All right, let's get into our next topic. This was talked about last week. I believe it was on Friday that it came out. Justin Fields, I believe, was in a podcast or an interview where he talked about how he doesn't like to play in the cold. And this is what he had to say. It's very difficult to adjust to it, especially with the wind. It could be cold, it could be 10 degrees, but with no wind, you're fine. But with 15-mile-an-hour wind, that 20-mile-an-hour wind, you can't fight it. It's tough. When it's that cold, you have to bundle up. I feel way slower in the cold. It's tough. It's hard to stay warm in that weather. And it says, I hope we get a dome. I don't care if we're at Soldier Field. I don't care if we're at Arlington Heights. I hope we get a dome.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
You're in Chicago, literally nicknamed the Windy City.
That's right.
So I want to ask you, do you have any issue with Fields saying that he wants to play indoors in a city like Chicago?
I guess I don't have an issue with it, but it makes him come across as maybe a little soft.
Maybe, yeah.
You know? I mean, Chicago is known for the lousy weather, the high winds, cold weather, and they don't get too far into the season when it starts getting cold in Chicago, right?
Right.
And actually, I would say the windy game favors his game, right? Because he's a running quarterback.
Right.
He's really good on the running game part of it. So if the other team can't pass the ball because the wind's blowing hard, that's an advantage for Justin Fields. I would think he would look at it that way.
Right. No, and I agree with you, because some of the great quarterbacks, they adapt to that weather. They use the cold as an advantage. Because Brady said when he plays in the cold and in the snow, everything slows down for him. So he could actually pick apart the pieces much easier because everyone is very cold. They don't want to move very fast because they're so cold.
Brady's the greatest cold weather quarterback ever.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But Justin Fields, he's from South Georgia, so it's a significantly warmer climate.
Yeah.
And that's what people are saying with Derek Carr to New York, maybe. He doesn't play well in cold weather. And you know what? I think this is bad because Justin Fields essentially said, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, I know. That's another point, right?
And here's the thing. There's trade rumors about the Bears trading away the number 1 pick and drafting a quarterback. Not trading away the pick. Using the pick for Bryce Young or another quarterback.
Oh yeah.
So if Justin Fields is saying this, I don't like what Justin Fields said.
Because he wants to be traded.
Maybe because he doesn't like the wind. He doesn't like the cold and the wind.
Well,
I mean, use it to your advantage.
Man, you're a football player.
He's a mobile quarterback. That's literally to his advantage.
You got to face those elements.
I mean, think about it. You have Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Baltimore's not a very warm state to be in the NFL. I don't believe it's as windy as Chicago. And that's what Justin Fields is really saying is his problem. But they're both very, very mobile quarterbacks. Use your legs. I mean, think about it. In the Buffalo Bills-Patriots game, it was like, 35-mile-an-hour winds? They ran the football, and the Patriots ran the football. The Bills tried to throw the football.
Yeah, the Patriots threw 3 passes the whole game.
Yeah. So you're a running quarterback, and let's be honest. There's a reason why the Bears have the most cap space. I believe it's like $55-60 million in cap space. You got nobody. Run the football with the players that you have. You're a great running asset. Your running backs, you got what I believe is Khalil Herbert. You have David Montgomery. Those are B- to C+ running backs. You got to make do with what you got. If you're saying you don't want to throw in the wind, don't throw in the wind. Run in the wind.
Well, maybe they should try to trade Justin Fields.
I don't like that because I think Justin Fields got talent. That's the problem I got. He's got talent.
Yeah, but if they draft one of those other quarterbacks, they're right up there in the draft, right? What's their pick? They must be in the top 5.
The Bears?
Yeah.
They're number 1.
They're number 1.
Number
okay.
1.
Well,
remember, because the Texans won.
They should take a quarterback.
You really think they should get rid of Justin Fields?
I'm not saying get rid of him, but they could draft what could be a very good quarterback, right?
Ooh. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that.
Then see how it goes in training camp. Maybe they trade Justin Fields. I don't know.
Ooh, that's.
Who else would they draft? Who else would you?
You got Bryce Young, who I believe is like 6 feet, so he's a small quarterback like Justin Fields. Then you got Will Levis from Kentucky. He's like 6'4", 220, 230.
Okay, but if they didn't draft a quarterback, who do you think they should draft?
I believe the option is a edge rusher. I think edge rusher from Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
I believe that's. But apparently, according to Jim Irsay, owner of the Colts, they really, really like Bryce Young. Thus, they're probably going to push to trade for that.
You know what? When
pick.
you have the number 1 pick in the draft, it's pretty hard not to draft a quarterback, right? Because the quarterback handles the ball every play.
That's why there's controversy to this, because they're saying the quarterback hasn't been great. That's what people are saying. I'm not necessarily agreeing with that. You know, the quarterback's iffy, hasn't played that well. You got the number 1 pick. Bryce Young is supposedly a great talent. Will Levis, it has the comp of a great quarterback, 6'4", 220, 230. And you got a couple good quarterbacks. You also have CJ Stroud from Ohio State, and we saw him in the playoff game.
Yeah.
He played pretty well.
He's more like Fields.
I'd say Bryce Young is too. They're both sort of shorter, mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Will Levis is that, generic. I'm not gonna say he's a pocket passer because I think he's more mobile than the generic pocket passer, but he's kind of like that 6'4", stand in the pocket, look over the offensive line, throw.
Maybe Fields is sending a message. I want to be traded.
I mean, he's having a problem with win. You're in Chicago. You got to make do with what you got.
I don't think you criticize the city that way.
He's 0-7 in games where the temperature was 40 degrees or below.
Wow.
But his completion percentage isn't bad. 65.1. That's respectable.
Yeah.
9 touchdowns, 6 picks, and an 85.3 passer rating. So, here's the thing though. The Bears.
He doesn't have, in his defense, he's got no receivers.
I was going to say exactly that.
Nothing.
He's got nobody.
He got nothing.
I thought Chase Claypool would have been great on the Bears. He fell into obscurity. You got Darnell Mooney, who I think is a pretty good 2 and a phenomenal 3. Your number 1 was who? N'Keal Harry? Was it Darnell Mooney?
Did N'Keal Harry even play much?
I think he got hurt, I believe.
Again.
Yeah,
he always does.
Again, and I think he caught a couple passes, but the Bears got nobody. They got absolutely nobody.
So that's in Fields' defense.
Here's the thing. The offensive line is terrible. The defense needs rebuilding. They got no receivers. Their running backs are hurt or just bad. So the Bears are literally like a G League team in the NBA. Yeah. They got nobody.
How they managed to beat the Patriots this past year, I'm still thinking about. I don't know how that happened.
I'm telling you, it's Bill Belichick's. It's how he focuses on running quarterbacks. I still think if Kyler Murray didn't tear his ACL in that game, I think the Cardinals had a good shot at beating the Patriots. Because Belichick doesn't do well against those mobile quarterbacks whatsoever. Yeah. So I don't love this because according to FoxSports.com, Chicago is the 2nd coldest and 5th windiest city in the NFL.
Yeah,
with an outdoor stadium in the NFL. So, I mean,
well, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. They're certainly not going to put a dome on Soldier Field.
They're thinking about building a new stadium.
Yeah, well, that's going to take a couple of years.
Oh, it's going to. And then, of course, the citizens and the loyalists to the Bears saying, no, we want to keep Soldier Field. And I respect that. I respect that. I mean, I don't think many people wanted the Rams to move out of that historic stadium. Well, they had 97 years in that stadium or something like that. It was crazy. So, I mean, I don't love Justin Fields saying this because he's basically saying, trade me. I don't want to be here. The conditions are too harsh for me. So I don't think that shows a toughness in character. Definitely not a mental toughness to figure out how to navigate through this. But I'm going to cut him a little bit of slack here. His team is horrible. And that's why they're drafting number 1.
Yeah.
So I don't know.